Hello and welcome back to Jimbo's PC Builds. In my last build video I covered upgrading my main machine using the Dark Base 700 White Edition that I'd unboxed in an earlier video. The build went very well. As I showed in the end of the video, I did a breakdown of all the parts included, but I thought I'd give you a quick overview of the testing that I've done with it. Now, I've only used synthetic testing materials to test the actual machine, but I've used something called Cinebench R20, which is used to primarily test the CPU, and I've also used something called TimeSpy, which is a 3D Mark artificial testing which tests both the CPU and the graphics. So let's go and have a look at some of the results. Cinebench primarily tests the CPU. It basically shows the difference between the two CPUs. In the upgrade I moved from a Ryzen 5 2600 to a Ryzen 5 3600, and as you can see from the Cinebench test results, I got a 19% increase in performance from that upgrade, which for the price, because 3600 is relatively cheap, it's a bit of a bargain. Now, some of that will also come down to the fact that I've got faster memory in there, so I wouldn't necessarily say that everybody will see such a result because I went from 3200 RAM to 3600 RAM, but it's indicative that you will get value from the upgrade to moving up to the new Ryzens. The TimeSpy overall score is an indicative of the whole system. So with the upgrade to the 3600, also with the upgrade of my graphics card to the Radeon 5700 XT, it gives an overall impression of what value I'm getting from the upgrade. And as you can see from the graph, I'm getting a 30% upgrade in overall system performance. Now again, this is a synthetic benchmark and is only indicative, but still it's great to see. TimeSpy also scores the CPU. In this case, it's telling us that there's a 15% difference between the 2600 and the 3600, which is roughly in line, a little bit lower, but roughly in line with what Cinebench told us, so that's pretty good to know. The TimeSpy GPU score just highlights the difference between the two graphics cards, and in this case it's telling us the difference between my old Geforce 1070 and my new Radeon 5700 XT is 33%, which I was pretty much expecting. While when they both were released they were similar in price, the 1070 is a generation back, and the new Navi graphics cards from AMD are really showing their muscles in terms of the gameplay and everything else that other YouTubers are testing. If you say looked at Hardware Unboxed, they've done a significant test suite on the 5700 XT and it's performed very well to all of the nVidia graphics cards. Also, TimeSpy gives you an average FPS score. Now, like the score, this is not just the graphics card, it's the overall system, because a CPU can bottleneck the graphics card, etc. In this, we've got a 30% upgrade for between the 2600 and the 1070 and the 3600 and the 5700 XT, which is roughly in line with the GPU upgrade, which is kind of what was expected. While those test results are very interesting, I will stress again that these are synthetic benchmarks, but it was good for myself to know that it was a value upgrade going from the 2600 to the 3600 and absolutely going from the 1070 to the 5700 XT. Other people may have 1070s and may look at that as a value upgrade. The 2600 to 3600, will the 2600 bottleneck the 5700 XT? Probably not. So you could probably just upgrade from the 1070 to the 5700 XT and get a real value for money upgrade on that. But I wanted to upgrade my whole system, which is what I've done. Okay, I hope the information I provided is interesting. I'll be covering some other content around the build, especially the differences between NVMe drives, which is something I found while during the build, and I'll cover that in the next video. If you like the videos, please toss a like on it for us, because that's always appreciated. Please remember to subscribe. If you want to know when future content's coming out, please also select the bell icon, because that will let you know when I've got videos coming out. And thank you very much for watching, and as always, take care.